Kate here, and welcome to Local Motors Live. In today's webisode, we'll be getting an update on the latest Rally Fighter build. We'll also check in with LM Labs and find out the most recent project there. And lastly, we'll talk to Eric, our wrap genius here at Local Motors. He's going to tell us about what happens before a car gets wrapped. First off, meet Jeremy, the lead builder trainer on this Rally Fighter build. This is Russell White's build. So Jeremy, the last time that we checked in with you, we had just seen the trunk floor being installed, and there's a lot that's been done since then, so tell me about it.
So after the trunk floor went in, we basically put the body on, threw the trunk and the hood on real quickly. Same thing with the doors. We've got the hood aligned. We're working on the front bumper for him, bull bar style. The next step that I'm going to work on today is basically adjusting this door.
Okay, so how does that work?
Typically, there's the door latch. You have to drill some holes here. They're oversized, so you can adjust the latch. Once you have those holes drilled, put the weather strip on the body, and that involves trimming the body back to fit the tubs and fit the weather strip, which is kind of a specific spacing through here.
Okay.
Once you have that, then you can basically physically throw the door on, and you have your latches, or your hinges are already on.
Okay.
You'll loosely put all the screws in, kind of shove the door up here and get it to latch without, chipping the body or anything like that. And the next step I'll do is start with basically aligning this scallop is where I always start. You make sure the door forward and backward, you have a gap that's pretty even between here and the back of the door. And then I'll start by tightening the upper hinge, both bolts.
It's a more complicated process than I thought, not gonna lie. I thought it would be a little more simple.
Once you get the bottom bolt just started tight, then I'll start working with the front of the latches and moving this body line in and out.
Okay.
So once I
get it lined up.
So I'll use the long extension you can see there. Push this body line in. Sometimes I have to go back in and cut the body in order for the hinge to move. And basically, once I've got it roughed in there, you'll open the door and it'll sag. Then you start adjusting how far the door sags and get it to where it shuts nice. It's basically chase your tail 3 times on this process. So
cool.
Yep.
So the next time that we talk to you in our next webisode, what are some of the things that we might be covering?
Next things after the doors get all aligned, we'll be working on putting the door panels on. Then you can fit the dash, and then from the dash, center console. So.
Okay, so center console, dash. So there's still a lot of work to be done on this.
You got to get the windows to operate. That takes a lot of time. The door itself is a very involved process on the car. It's one of the most.
It sounds like it. Great. Well, I learned a lot today. Thank you so much for your time, Jeremy. So stay tuned. Next up is the latest project in LM Labs. Project in LM Labs. We're actually just outside of the building, and it looks like the latest project is actually rolling up right now. Check out this Segway. Ben, why don't you tell me how this project was born?
Well, it was donated to us quite a while ago, almost right around the same time we first got to Phoenix, about 3 years ago. And they got a lot of use. A lot of people love to use it in the shops. It's just an awesome product. And somebody forgot to plug it in for a period of time, so the story goes, and it eventually, it wouldn't take a charge anymore.
Oh no, so how did you bring it back to life?
Well, some of our good friends at the Heatsink Hackerspace in Mesa were gracious enough to let me use their bench power supply to kind of force charge the battery, enough that the Segway would actually see there's a battery in it. Okay, so it works now. So what, as a member of LM Labs, what do you plan to use the Segway for? Because it looks awful fun. Oh, it's a lot of fun. Driving around the parking lot is most what we've been doing, but we've been trying out some other uses for it, specifically a mobile filming platform.
Okay.
We've been using it to film with a handheld cell phone, but using mounts for either a helmet or the chesty mount for the GoPro are other possible things we want to try out in the near term to see if because it's really stable and it's really smooth and it gives you a lot of flexibility to zoom around a moving car in a fashion that's not possible any other way.
Right, so perfect for LM Labs and perfect for Local Motors.
Lots of shots of the tandem.
Yeah.
Really artistic stuff that would get all of our graphic designers really happy.
Yeah, and we love that.
I want a really cool shot for the opening page of the webpage when the tandem's body's done.
Awesome. Well, maybe next we'll try that. But for right now, can I take this for a little test drive?
Sure.
Sweet. Okay, you gotta help me out because I've never been on one of these before. Woo! And then how do I go?
Just
Not
forward,
backwards. What? Bye. We'll see you in a minute. Ah! Don't go anywhere because next up we're gonna talk to Eric, our wrap genius here at Local Motors. He's gonna tell us more about what happens to cars before they get wrapped. Welcome back, LM fans. We are now in the micro factory and I'm joined by Eric, who is working on what happens before a car gets wrapped. So Eric, we're not going to interrupt your work too much, so just work and talk.
All right.
But a lot of people don't know that there's work that has to be done to a car before it gets wrapped in vinyl. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I basically go around, make sure all the edges are really nice and smooth and rounded. And I just get out all the imperfections. Any Bondo that needs to be filled in happens at this time. And that's mostly it, and a lot of cleaning. Make sure all the waxes are off from the mold of the fiberglass, and then you're usually good to go.
Okay, what kind of time range are we looking at to prep a car to be wrapped?
Yeah, it's usually been taking a day.
A day? That's a long time.
It is a very long time. But it could be longer. If we were going to paint, it would probably take more than a day, like maybe 2 or 3.
Okay, so time-wise, it's actually better to have a car wrapped with vinyl.
Definitely.
Time-wise.
And I'm looking at 2 days to actually wrap it after that, so
okay.
it's a much quicker process.
Okay, so I've had a few minutes to watch you work. Tell me about your bag of tricks that you have. So many tools.
Knives, little tweezers for pulling out vinyl in random areas. Burnishing tools for pushing vinyl into really tight areas without damaging. The classic knife, that's like the #1. And then the felt covered squeegee. Break off blades, the felt covered squeegee.
What's that for?
Applying wraps without scratching. Use the felted side. And then when you get in trouble, use the hard side, and hopefully you don't scratch much.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
What else? Oh, air release tool, in case there is a little air bubble, 3M certified. Also
like
retractable so you don't stab yourself.
It looks like a pen. Oh, much sharper than a pen.
And then for doing really fine weeding work,
wow.
super small blade.
That's incredible.
Everything's retractable now. Everybody's stabbed themselves so many times they finally started making everything.
Okay, worst injury wrapping a car.
Cut off the tip of my finger and stabbed myself with a blade, full blade width. So
okay,
yeah, there's a picture of it somewhere in Florida. What
people don't know about wrapping cars.
Every day, you know, cut the finger. Actually, I guess the worst injury I had, I fell off the roof.
Oh,
so that
okay.
was pretty
Yeah,
rough.
that's bad too.
That was rough. I'm still kind of recouping from it. So.
Great. Well, thank you for your time, Eric.
problem.
Go ahead, get back to work. Thanks for joining us for this webisode of Local Motors Live. Tomorrow, we'll be talking about suspension spring systems, so be sure to subscribe to our Local Motors YouTube channel. Until then, you can follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.